Welcome to Math with Mrs. Cox. We are on Chapter 10, Lesson 6, page 739. Let's begin. Okay, so the main idea for this chapter is multiplication. We have 3 times 1 is 3, 5 times 2 is 10, and that's our answer because we can't simplify it any longer. Okay, here we go. 3 times 2 is 6. 4 times 3 is 12. We have 6 over 12 and divide them both by 6 and you have 1/2. Now there's 2 different ways we can do this problem. We can do it how we just talked about, where we multiply first and then we simplify. So we multiply it out, 6 twelfths, divide each one by 6, we get 1/2. Or we can do this way where we simplify first. As you can see right here, they simplified. 3 will go into 3 one time, 3 will go into 3 one time, 2 will go into 2 once, 2 will go into 4 twice. So then we can do 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 1 is 2, 1/2. Honestly, this is my favorite way. I like to simplify first and then try to solve it. Example 2. Now there is also another way of showing how to solve multiplication problems by using a bar model. We have 5/9, there's 9 of those. 3/4, there's 4 of those. So where the two intersect is how many we're going to have in our color code. 15 of those. There's 15 that are blue that are overlap out of the 36. But then we need to simplify that by dividing each one by 3, so 5/12. This by far was the favorite way. Everyone in the class voted and they liked this way the best. This is where you just multiply straight across and then simplify. Now, if you look at it, you could also have simplified before you multiplied. 3 can go into 3 once, 3 can go into 9 3 times. Then 1 times 5 is 5, 4 times 3 is 12, 5/12. In class, we worked on these together and the kids tried to race me finished. This is where you multiply across. First of all, you look to see if you can simplify. Nope, you can't simplify those, so you multiply across. We have 15 24s. Then we decided both of those can be divided by 3. Our final answer was 5/8. So before we simplify though, we know we need to color 15 out of the 24. So that's what we did here. Number 3, we looked and we just multiplied straight across. We could have simplified, but we got in a hurry. So 3 times 5 is 15. 10 times 6 is 60. Then we colored 15 out of the 60. That's these guys right here. And then we decided that 15 could be divided by 15 and 60 could be divided by 15 to equal 1/4. You would have gotten the same answer had you just done it by 5. You just had to have done it by 5 a few times. All right, number 4. We could have simplified right there, but we were in a hurry, so we just did 3 times 2 is 6, 4 times 7 is 28, and then towards the end we did multiply or divide by 2 to get 3/14. We colored in 6 out of the 28 blocks. All right, multiply right in simplest form. Again, we could have simplified here, but we chose not to, and right here. So then we have to simplify in the end. 3 times 5 is 15. 5 times 6 is 30. And that gives us 15/30. We divided them both by 15 and it came out to be 1/2. Here we wised up a little bit and decided 3 goes into 3 one time and 3 goes into 12 4 times. Then we did 1 times 5 is 5. 4 times 4 is 16. And that was our answer. On this one, we couldn't simplify either way, so then we just multiplied it straight across and it came out to 2 27ths. And we went through all of the factors, 2, 3, 5, 7, 9, and made sure nothing went into both of those and decided that was the simplest form. Okay, with this one, we wised up and we decided that 2 could go into 2 here, and 2 can go into 4 here. So 3 times 1 is 3, 2 times 5 is 10, and that is its simplest form. This one over here we couldn't simplify, so then we just went multiplied straight across. 1 times 2 is 2, 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 1, oh, this is where we simplified the 5s. We can each put a 5 into each of them. 3 times 1 is 3, and 1 times 7 is 7, so that is our simplified answer. Here we had lots of fun simplifying that we could do. 4 and 6 were even numbers, so 2 will go into 4 twice, and 2 will go into 6 3 times. So then we could do 3 times 3 is 9, 7 times 2 is 14, and we decided that was its simplest form. Here we decided that 2 and 4 again were even. 2 will go into 2 once. There's a little 1 right there. 2 will go into 4 twice. 1 times 1 is 6. 3 times 2 is 6. 1 times 1 is 1. And then 3 times 2 is 6. So our answer is 1/6. And here we decided that we could simplify the even numbers. 2 goes into 2 once. 2 goes into 3 3 times. 5 times 1 is 5. 3 times 3 is 9. 3/9 is our answer. Now we just did a few on this page. We talked about area. Find the area of the rectangle shown. Write an equation. Area is length times width equals area. So we're doing length, which is 7/10 of a yard, times a half, which is the width. So 7/10 times a half. Now we can't simplify across, so we just multiplied it right across. 7 times 1 is 7. 10 times 2 is 20. So 7/20 of a yard, and when you do area, you need to do squared. Squared. We need to go over this because there is a question on your homework that regards the properties. So commutative property is where, no matter what the order is, you're still going to multiply them. It's going to be the same answer. So if it's 4 times 3, it's still going to be 12. 3 times 4, still going to be 12. Same on the way up and the way back. Identity. This is where 3 over 3 equals 1. So identity property. We decided not to do those two numbers. All right, here's your homework. Go ahead and push pause and see if you can figure these out on your own and then correct with the answers shown here. Make sure if you can simplify first, like I did on the first one, try it. Number 7, Carrie ate some of the oranges that her mother brought home from the grocery store. Of the oranges her mother bought 1/4 were left over. Shyla, Carrie's sister, ate 2/5 of the oranges. Okay, the of tells us that we are multiplying. So we do 1/4 times 2/5. And right away I can see that 4 and 2 can be simplified. 2 can go into 2 once, 2 can go into 4 twice. Then I can do 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 5 is 10. So 1/10 of the oranges is the fraction that Shayla ate. Find the area of the rectangle shown. We are multiplying 4/5 times 1/3. Multiply it straight across. 4 times 1 is 4. 5 times 3 is 15, and it's feet squared. Brain builder. Here's where you're going to use the properties. Commutative, where it doesn't matter what order it's in, it's still going to be the same answer. So 5 times 6 is going to be 30. 6 times 5 is 30. Here's the identity because we have a whole number. 5 over 5 is one whole number. Identity property. Here's an example of we could use the same properties for each step. 2/3 times 3/8. We would still use the commutative and the identity property. Number 10, James made flashcards for 5, 6 of, that tells us it's multiplication, the vocabulary words. Loretta made a half of this amount of cards that James made. What fraction of vocabulary cards did Loretta make cards for? 5, 6 times a half. We don't have any way to simplify anything, so we multiply it straight across. 5 times 1 is 5. 6 times 2 is 12. And there's our answer. Okay, sorry this video is a little choppy. It wasn't working in class, and so this is how we did it in class, and I just made the video for those of you who are absent today. So hope it helps. Let me know if there's any questions.